Well, hello and welcome to another movie review here by Movie Burner Entertainment. My name is Stephen, and today I'm going to be talking about the 2018 release Braven, starring Jason Momoa. Now, this film is directed by Lynn Oding, and Jason Momoa plays a character called Joe Braven, who is a logging company owner who lives with his wife, his daughter, and his father in the scenic Canadian wilderness, defends his family from a group of dangerous drug runners. Now, Raven as a plot and storyline was a little predictable, and I felt it was a bit like Cliffhanger from 1993 in that aspect. That's not to say you can't be entertained. Even if you can guess correctly what's coming next, this movie is no exception to that. Momoa, just off the back of playing Aquaman in the now regarded disappointing Justice League, plays the title role, and to be fair, his acting is fine. In fact, the acting in this movie isn't an issue at all, and it stops the movie from crumbling altogether. Momoa is the all-out action hero here, and I'm glad he was cast in this role, because it could have went to the usual suspects in the vein of Jason Statham, etc. And I probably would have body swerved it on that basis, that it would have been sold as another run-of-the-mill action flick. Nevertheless, this is what it ends up being anyway, but casting Momoa, who was actually one of the very few plus points about Justice League, made me want to watch this. His relationship with Jill Wagner, who plays his wife Stephanie, and their daughter Charlotte, played by Sasha Rosoff, is fleshed out within the first 20 minutes of the film. And we also get to meet Joe's dad, Lyndon, played by Stephen Lang, and discover he has early signs of dementia creeping in. Wagner and Rosoff sadly don't have a lot to do in this movie until the climactic end. I really thought the filmmakers were going down the predictable road of using the wife and daughter as hostage leverage, but thankfully it didn't play out like that. Lang, on the other hand, was a mixed bag. I had sympathy for the character in the beginning, and his struggles to remember his actions in the bar one night wasn't down to his alcohol consumption, but his condition getting worse. Once the movie is in full flow, we don't really get to see this again, as the character is actually required in a lot of the key scenes, and I kept thinking that his dementia could be the downfall of the character. Garret Dillahunt as the villain, Kaysen, is what you expect from the movie's bad guy. He's cold and focused on one thing, and that's getting his drugs back off Braven. Well, actually two things: killing the Braven family after he's done that. Dillahunt I remember in Looper from 2012, and vaguely in 12 Years a Slave in 2013 isn't that memorable as a villain. Thinking back to Cliffhanger in 1993, and its villain in John Lithgow as Quaylen added a charm and presence to the character. He had some memorable lines too. Dillahunt isn't even given much to work with other than acting cold and focused. The cinematography in this film presents the beautiful landscape of Canada in all its glory. Brian Andrew Mendoza did a fantastic job capturing the scenery here and adding to the isolation of the situation. To be fair though, it must make his cinematography's life a lot easier when the location scouts inform him that they're going to film in the mountains. Overall, I wasn't offended by Braven and actually enjoyed it for what it was. For an action film, yes, it was a little predictable in the story, and perhaps the characters could have been a little bit more interesting, but the acting was fine, and some of the action sequences were okay. If you're a fan of Jason Momoa, then I would recommend you see this, as you probably will enjoy it.
Remember guys, if you're enjoying the content we're putting out, then do subscribe to us on YouTube, iTunes and Google Play, whilst also giving us a little follow on Facebook at Movie Burner Entertainment and on Twitter at Movie Burners. You can also catch up with all the latest reviews we're putting out on the Movie Burner blog at movieburnerintertainment.org. Until the next time, goodbye.